Good morning, Ergo-Flex family. Dr. Robbie Wyatt, Chief Clinical Officer here at Ergo-Flex Technologies. I'm going to talk to you about the Texas Board of Chiropractic Examiners versus TMA, Texas Medical Association. So this has been an ongoing lawsuit from the TMA against the Texas Board of Chiropractic Examiners. And it basically says that we as chiropractors in the state of Texas do not have the privilege to diagnose. And why is this important to my non-Texas brethren? Well, guys, what happens in Texas and California on state levels typically happen throughout the entire country within the next 5 to 10 years. I can quote back to looking at Texas Workers' Compensation Commission. It basically got killed in 2005. And then the commission was actually abolished in 2006 under sunset review. And now we have Obamacare. So that was the beginnings of those things that actually happened. So it's important to pay attention not only to what's happening to states like Texas or California, but let's say Wisconsin, Michigan. We have all kind of different things that we need to be looking at. So if you have any information on what's happening on your state level, because we're based in Texas, so this has a lot to do with us. But again, like I said, this actually gets spread throughout all of the states, eventually in some way, shape, or form of legislation, just because of what happens in Texas and California. So basically this document, so this is the Court of Appeals, 3rd District at Austin. It's a favorable judgment in certain sense, and then in other senses it is not. We as chiropractors, based on this appellate appeals process, have been able to keep our right to diagnosis. Now TMA is going to come back and come after it again, but again, this is like the 3rd time we've had a really good, solid opinion in relation to this. Where we didn't get such a solid decision was in relation to having nerve or neuro applied to our scope of practice. In the state of Texas, we have musculoskeletal. And I urge every single chiropractor, I don't care where you're at, I don't care what state, where you practice, you need to understand implicitly what your scope of practice means in that state. All right? That way you don't get in trouble for advertising the wrong way, that you don't have the wrong information on your website. I have many friends that I graduated with 20 years ago that have gotten, little slaps of the hand all the way up to license revocation because they didn't understand what they were doing is right or wrong. Okay, and just because ignorance of your scope does not mean that you get a free pass. So we did not get what I feel to be a fair judgment here. Our scope is musculoskeletal. As chiropractors, we can treat anything related to the musculoskeletal, but we want neuro or nerve musculoskeletal involved in that, so we can do things like vestibular testing, okay? Or we want to do an EMG NCV needle test, things of that nature. There's a lot of docs out there that are still doing those. For the life of me, I don't understand how you can treat musculoskeletal without treating nerve. But if we don't have nerve involved, then we can't look at things like attention deficit disorder or hyperactivity disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, neurofeedback, exercise with oxygen therapy. There's all kind of different things that we can use. So the court states that it's implied that musculoskeletal has nerve in it. So the TMA was really, they kind of won a pretty good portion of what they're doing because they're trying to chip away at us. And if you pay attention on any state level, unfortunately, that's what's happening in our professions. They're constantly chipping away at our scope, at our right to diagnose. You can do this test, but you can't do this test. In Texas, we've lost the right to do school physicals a dozen times and gained them a dozen times. We used to not be able to do Department of Transportation testing for truckers. Now we can with testing, so it's stay active, take a look at what's happening on your state level, and if you have some interesting information, please let me know. You can always email me at dr.wyatt@backontrack.com, or more importantly, come on Chiropractic Instruments of Success Facebook page. This is designed for posts specifically like that so that we can get everybody involved. You can also go to Ergo-Flex Facebook page, those two intertwined. But right now we're really paying attention to what's happening in Chiropractic Instruments of Success. Okay, guys, keep on taking care of those folks and spreading the word.